So, Ram, I request you to speak to us about the challenges before HR managers today.
I think the first and fundamental challenge before the HR manager is self-worth. Many of us, for generations in this profession in HR, have had serious self-doubts about our place in the business and in the entire peer level community. I want the HR persons in any company, wherever they are, to first put their head up and say that they are not here because somebody did a favor to them. Without self-worth, we will never be able to express ourselves in a manner which adds value to the institution. So that's one of the first piece in terms of our challenge. This challenge has been for decades. A few of us in this challenge have refused to be plagued by self-doubt, and hence we were able to go out and create value for the institutions which we were associated with. This is not about making a name for yourself and looking very big. It is around about being able to really bring your abilities to bear and create value to the institutions you are assigned or you are associated with. The second thing is, for us, the second challenge for us is that we end up really doing too much of HR speak. Ultimately, we have to start thinking business and not try to become business partners. We are the business. Why should we believe that we are business partners?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, you stand outside the business to be a partner.
Yes. So you are not a partner. You are inside the business, and to believe that I use this analogy very often, right? You don't identify yourself when you play a sport by the position you play in the sport, right? You are a cricketer, you're a footballer, you're a hockey player. You can play any position, but your identity is one of a sports person at a big level, and then for the sports you play. Similarly, our identity should be that we are business people, that we may be in a durable business, we may be in a financial services business, we may be in a hospitality business or an e-commerce business. But don't ever identify ourselves by the narrow specialization of a function. Once we resolve it in our mind, this challenge will also be met properly by us. Then we will not feel apologetic about calling ourselves as somebody who require to partner with somebody to get called a business to feel legitimate about it. The third challenge which I want to put on the table here is to say, as we go by, is to say, for HR people to be the arbiter in a company. Our role when we come in is a role of an arbiter. When I mean arbiter, ultimately every institution should uphold fairness, equity, and justice. So somebody in that institution should be there to be able to notify to the rest of the institution by saying, is everything we are doing fair, equitable, and just? So that is a role in its conception and vision for HR when we came into this profession as welfare officers. Many of us forget that. Our role was created in an institution for this purpose. And because we are expected to uphold fairness, equity, and justice, it doesn't mean we are people who will do anything which is contrary to value creation. So we are there to ensure that every stakeholder gets the due value. I'm using the word every stakeholder. So we are not here to maximize the value for the shareholder or maximize the value for the customer or maximize the value for the employee. We are here to be able to bring into the boardroom, whether we are part of the board or not, we don't have to really get worried about it, that thought that we need to co-hold the interest of all the stakeholders and see that in no way any one stakeholder is acting detrimental to the interest of the other stakeholders. So whenever it happens, it is the duty of our role to be able to stand up and fearlessly notify it. I'm not saying we should rebel. I'm not saying we should punish. I'm not saying we should disrupt an organization. Our role is to notify to the people around, and most people are well-minded, good-minded people. And we have to stand up and say, hey, that one is not a just action. That one is not equitable to this stakeholder. This one is unfair by this employee or this customer or this investor. If we can do that, then that challenge of making our organizations human organizations. Yeah. So I want to close this piece here by saying that the biggest challenge for institutions, all kinds of institutions today, is to see ourselves as a human organization, a network of human beings who bring their abilities to create institutional and social values. So if we as HR people can rise up to the challenge of moving away from thinking process, system, and a set of using tools to lift our vision to what our role originally was conceived for, to be able to run our institutions as human institutions for the benefit of all the human beings, we would have lived up to our challenge.
Thank you, Ram.